there's things that we'll be able to like.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Clark of Clark's Cosplays and this is part 2 of my Halo Master Chief build. In this I will show you how I put all the armor pieces together, strapped it all together, and make it ready to wear for conventions.
I'm going to show you a breakdown of my armor build. So we have, first, it's just a basic spandex Under Armour type shirt and leggings. I have in black. This has a little bit of a turtleneck to it. Both of these are off-brand ones you can get cheap off Amazon because I don't need anything fancy for what this is for. And in my experience wearing it both in the parade, walking around conventions, just walking around the neighborhood, anything like that, it's actually really breathable and nice. I've worn foam builds before. This is all 3D printed, but I've done stuff with foam, and it's super insulating because they use foam to insulate piping and things like that. And it was just absolutely hot, absolutely unbearable. With this being 3D printed, it's lighter, it's not insulated, it allows more airflow through it, and so wearing something, the moisture wicking type of stuff helps out a lot with staying cool. And down here, most of the conventions are in the summer and fall when it's hot, so it's one of those things where I love doing characters that are armor. I love doing like stormtrooper type stuff is what I want to do. Mandalorian, Destiny characters like Lord Shax is who I'm working towards, and obviously Master Chief. But it's all armor. It's all helmets or masks or things like that. Nothing fun to build and cosplay tends to be a light outfit. Most of what is really fun to build is all suits of armor and things like that. So one of the first things that I put on, I'm going to show you, is the harness. None of the armor pieces are really heavy. Nothing. It's not so much for the weight. It's just to keep everything in line and together, especially while I'm walking around or marching the parade or doing anything like that. So what I have here is like a H harness from Blackhawk Tactical. It's about 20-30 bucks off Amazon. Most everything I've been getting has been from Amazon. I'll post a link in the description with all the different things that I used. So this is just a basic H harness, black, from Blackhawk, and then a black police patrol belt. It's honestly this. I think I bought this to use with another cosplay years ago. It was like, again, maybe $20 off Amazon, and it came with a whole bunch of extra pouches and stuff. For this, we don't need any of that. It's just a basic black web belt, little clip. And as you can see, I've added these clips to it that go to the thighs. The thighs have a little spot at the hip that will clip and attach to these. So just wear it like so. Doesn't have to be too tight. It's not a big deal. Because again, it's not being rigged as a load-bearing harness in the true sense of the word, because none of this is really heavy. It's just more just to keep everything in line, keep everything where it's supposed to be while I'm walking around, moving around, everything like that. This is a It's like a black BMX or motocross or something like that. Like torso and chest protector. There used to be little black like elbow pads and forearm pads. Really easy, just remove these with, you can either use a seam ripper. I use an X-Acto blade just to kind of cut the seam and pull it all off. You don't need those. Having it back is nice because that allows us to be partially exposed, and it looks, like the undersuit, torso, armor, lower back armor on Master Chief or Spartan. And you can see here, I tried to put, these are little like purse magnets. I tried this out. I've seen some other folks use stuff like this. I put little magnets on this end, which are to correspond with magnets here. This one is a forearm piece. I have another one up higher for the bicep armor. There, you can see I've added more strapping. So I tried this out. Thought this would seem like a good idea, and it worked as long as I was more or less stationary. But once I started walking around, really moving my arms more, if I went up too high, and it would cause them to pop, and then I didn't really have a whole lot holding them on. It was really awkward. So that was something that I learned from, made some adjustments. I added this bungee strap with a clip and some Velcro down here, which then corresponds with the already attached clip, as well as I added Velcro there. That all helps stop it from moving around. You can still try and line up, I still try and line up these, but it was one of those things where it seemed like a good idea, but needs some tweaking. In the meantime, though, it works pretty well with just the Velcro and the clip. I'm having that added on. So let's put this on here. This is all good. This has like a little bit of a Velcro material. It's a little like cummerbund. And I actually utilize the Velcro area here when I put on the other abdomen piece that goes over the top. Now that I'm wearing shorts, you can see more. You're probably wondering why the butt pad is somewhat attached to this. So, funny story, and it's kind of just stayed this way. When I was getting suited up at DragonCon, in the hotel room for, I want to say it was the parade, when I was putting on the Codpiece here, which I will show you here. But when I was putting this on, I cinched down the straps on the side a little too tight on the one side, so we had to do a hasty super glue. Well, of course, some of the super glue ran off the side, because we just did a hasty super glue, stuck it on, and I just went. So it's kind of just stayed stuck to the shorts, but it works out fine because it stays stuck, it stays where it needs to be. No real issues. But this here is the Codpiece. It came into 4 pieces. So what I did is attached them all here with nylon webbing and super glue. I use the accelerator pen, works really well. So if you just soak or run it along the piece of the webbing, and then apply the super glue to where you want the webbing. You set it on there, and then using, I use the other end of the paintbrush to just kind of scour the area with it to really get that super glue to seep into the webbing. Hits the accelerant and it adheres super quick, super strong. The reason I say I would not recommend at all using fingers, do not use your fingers or skin, because it will stick to it. But I have the webbing there, holding it there, levs it, gives it, a little bit of flex, because I want it to flex a little bit, because I am going to be, it's wearing it as a belt, essentially. And then there's a little bit of Velcro up here. So I will show you now what that goes to, okay? Right. So this was the foam torso piece that I made. All EVA. I coated these pieces here, bought a roll of carbon fiber imitation vinyl, like upholstery cloth that you used for doing your vehicles and things like that. Bought that, glued that onto pieces of EVA foam that I cut out, and then glued the EVA foam onto this strip of EVA foam, lots of EVA foam. But this way, by having it segmented like that, it will flex and have some of its shape. It still have its shape and striations and pattern while I'm wearing it. I modeled this after the torso pieces that you see exposed on Master Chief on the TV show, which was primarily what I based my build off of. I was trying to be that because I do kind of look like him. So this is all EVA foam. These pieces here are coated in that carbon fiber vinyl. This one here I stamped with a 3D printed foam stamp that I got from Bill over at Punished Props. Huge fan of his channel, been watching it for years, has helped me out a lot through the beginning processes and still today with my just all of my armor builds and prop making and everything like that. So big shout out to him. Go to his channel, give him a like, subscribe. He's got a lot of good stuff. I saw him do a video where he had these stamps. They're 3D printed, and then he has them up on his page. Purchased the STL file. It was real inexpensive and totally worth the money. And printed them out. He's got different designs, both the hexagon, honeycomb pattern here, as well as others. But what you do is you heat up the EVA foam with a heat gun, and then press and hold the stamp onto it. I had it on the ground, and I just took a knee and just put all my weight on it. Held it down for a bit, and then just kept moving on down. Gave us this nice honeycomb pattern. It's got strapping, goes on the back side, around, and it's got Velcro here. So earlier I mentioned I utilized this little Velcro pad here. This is the opposite side to this Velcro piece here. So basically, roughly line that up there, stick that on there, so that keeps that in position there. And then I feed this end through and behind the like spine protection pattern. So there it is. It's all on there, flipped over. I've put this across. Just kind of gives it, feels like it gives a little more support and holds it in there. Also, really nice thing that I did was, you know, when you're at conventions, when you're marching the parade, anything like that, you have to have your badge on you. So that way, you know, you can get in and out of the venues, to go around. Dragon Con especially, to go from one hotel to the other, they normally check your badge, make sure you have it on you, things like that. Even though, you know, obviously, if you're dressed full on Master Chief, you probably already got a badge for the convention, but I'm sure there's some people out there that try and skirt the rules and things like that. What I ended up doing was this piece here, I looped through the lanyard and then would just tuck the badge inside here. So at any point in time I needed to have the badge check, I could just reach in, pull it out, it's attached to me, could show them, and then when I was good to go, I could tuck it back away, so that way it's not out there visible in photographs or anything like that, because nothing ruins your photo out more than and the immersion of it all. Then when you get a picture and you can see, you know, the bright badge with all the little ribbons and everything attached to it. You know, it's one of those things where it's necessary, and I understand, you know, definitely understand it for, you know, being at conventions, but it can get in the way of, you know, taking pictures and things like that. And that way, you know, if I have it tucked in here, it's not getting snagged on something, somebody's not stealing it, taking it from me or other people, because that's unfortunately happens out there. But anyway, now this is on here. This little Velcro piece goes to this little Velcro piece up here on the Codpiece. By doing that, it, you know, helps keep it in place there, as well as, you know, making sure everything is all lined up and that this, you know, this piece doesn't shift up too high or shift down too low or anything like that. Keeps everything more or less in line with each other. I have this piece here, overlaps and hides the bottom of the torso piece. If you're wondering what's going to happen with the top of the torso piece here, the chest armor that I'm going to put on is going to cover this part here as well. Okay. Next, we have our arm pieces, bicep piece. This is the left one and kind of covers the shoulder a little bit. This here is the left forearm piece. I find it easier if I keep everything together. Works out pretty nicely. Left, stick it inside. Easy for storage. But here, so like I said, I had to add the Velcro on there, keep that in its place, and then this piece here. See if I can get this. Clips on like that. And then, you know, once everything's on, you don't really see these clips. And then a forearm piece. For this, the file that I had this in 3 different pieces. Well, you had the options of 2 pieces or 3 pieces. 3 pieces is why I chose. This piece here allows it to be unattached, so you can, for me, I have some elastic down here. This way you can get your wrist in and out. There we go. As you can kind of see with that, it's one of the things where it seemed like it was a good idea. Because once you get it on, it seemed like it was on pretty good. But once it started moving and walking around, especially in the parade when it's just a lot of, you know, arms up waving at people, it caused this to pop, which then shifting around would cause this to pop. So it became really inconvenient quickly. It was one of those things where, at the time when I was building it, seemed like a really clever idea. And the concept is a good, clever idea. I just think I probably executed it a little poorly. But since then, I've added straps and Velcro, which works really well. I still try and get the clips, the magnets to actually clip, but this way I'm not as worried about not moving around too much, because it's kind of sucks to not be able to move around the way you would want to and the way other people would want to for like pictures, action shots, things like that. That's how I have left bicep, left forearm, and then the gloves here. These are just some like green tactical airsoft gloves or something along those lines. Again, bought them off Amazon. I thought the little rubber armor pieces on it looked very chief-like, very Master Chief, very Spartan, very armor. And then, of course, this piece here is the top of a hand glove piece, painted up with everything else, and attached with super glue. Lots of this stuff is just done with super glue, and the activator, really, really helpful that I found that activator. You can get the activator pens and super glue combos. I'll link in the description as well. So I'm working on getting some more stuff to like fill some of these gaps, because it looks pretty good without them, but still, my goal is to look as close as I can to the Chief from the series, and so all these exposed parts, I want to try and get closer to that. Whenever you put stuff together, everything is like everything else in life. You're just always constantly improving. There's always room for improvement. It doesn't mean that what you did was bad. It doesn't mean that what you did was, not good enough. It wasn't acceptable. It's not great. Because for me, like when I look at this, I see all the little flaws, little things I could do better, little things that I can improve upon. But when I have it all together and go out there and people take pictures of me, or they see pictures from past conventions of it, and it's always like, oh my god, it looks so good. But like to me, I'm just kind of like, really? Because I only see the faults because I know what to look for. Oh, you know what I mean? Let me know in your comments if you understand what I'm saying, if you've been there before, and with anything else you've done. It's that whole idea, I guess, of like you are your own worst critic. But for purposes of me being able to put everything on by myself, I'm taking everything off here to show how I have the chest and back pieces on, because it's one of those things where, as I was going through the process of building it all and putting it all together, like I'm doing right now, I would put stuff on here and just be like, oh wow, yeah, I can do this myself. I can put this on here. Oh yeah, I can put this on here. I can line up the magnets and the clips. Not thinking about the fact that whenever I do all these other pieces, I'm going to be wearing all this other armor. So for me, looking at this, being able to be like, oh yeah, I can move my arm here and do all this other stuff. Well, once I put the chest pieces on, I can't move past a certain point because of the armor, and vice versa. Like I'll put everything on here, and ways that I could put the armor on for the torso by myself and the chest and back pieces, I can't, because now my mobility is more limited by these pieces here. Not to say that I have poor mobility, because again, compared to other builds and other things, this is actually pretty maneuverable. Because again, I wanted to make sure that I could walk in it, I could go upstairs, I could do things like that. Because I knew I was planning on wearing this and walking in the Dragon Con parade. There's not a lot of elevation changes. It's not that long of a distance, but I just knew that I wanted something that I knew I'd be walking from the hotel over to the bus and then over to the parade route. And with that, there'd be stairs, escalators, things like that. Um, and I just wanted to be sure that I could walk and move comfortably without it being too hindered by mobility, without parts digging into me and causing like hot spots and pain and things like that later on. Because again, I've had that happen with previous builds, where it's great, it would look really good if all I was doing was just standing there, but just walking around, I didn't have the flexibility in certain pivot points and joints on my body. So by the end of the day, I had like red wear and hot spot points on my shin above my ankle because I didn't think about being able to walk in the foam outfit that I was in. This was when a few years back when I did a Jedi Groot, lots and lots of foam, and learned very quickly that large foam builds do not go well with Atlanta heat. So as much as I can, I like to try and avoid having that much foam. So that being said, I'm gonna quickly doff this so I can show you guys the chest pieces. So for the chest pieces, I have the front piece here, which as you can see, I have set up as the Master Chief from Silver Team of the Halo TV show. I have the Silver Team logo here. That was a vinyl decal that was cut out using a Cricut and then applied to the chest armor after all the paint was done, but before it was clear coated with satin semi-gloss, just clear coat finish. It's a sealant. I use it as a sealant to protect it from scuffs and things like that, as well as give it back some more of that, as you can kind of see here, that armor shine, the metallic Spartan armor shine. Sponged on some paint over the top of it to make it look more worn, as you can see there. And I'll post pictures. You can see the pictures as well, showing that kind of like a before and after. I believe I have before I got the little weathering on there, and then I just stenciled out using Scotch tape and a razor blade the white 117. On the inside here, you can see these clips here are, I believe they're called parachute clips. These things are amazing. Really simple, really easy to use. I have these on many parts of this build. They don't clip from the sides here. It goes in the top, and there's a little center button that you push. These are all attached using super glue with the accelerant pen. And then down here on the bottom, I have nylon webbing with clips that go attached to the sides and the bottom. Again, this is one of those things where it's super easy for me to attach by myself, which when I was going through and putting everything together, it was easy to do by myself as long as I didn't have the armor on. I did not realize that until after I had everything together, because again, when I was going through testing the parts and attaching them, I obviously was not wearing the full suit. When I was doing that, I did not have the armor on, so I could move this way. Having the armor on, my mobility is a little more here, a little bit more past what C-3PO can do with his arms, and that doesn't allow me to reach up and clip these parts here. This is the back piece. As you can see, this was multiple pieces that were 3D printed. I had to cut and adjust them all utilizing mesh mixer is what I used to cut the 3D STL files. Everything was utilized and put together on the print bed with, it's either Cura or Cura, I'm not entirely sure exactly how to pronounce that. It's a very common program that most people that 3D print use. It's free, don't have to pay anything for it. and super helpful. But here, I have these side pieces, again, attached with nylon webbing, so that gives me a little more maneuverability. Got the nylon clips here, and then I got the other end of the parachute clips on these parts here that are attached utilizing elastic webbing, so that way it gives me more movement, a little more flexibility in the torso area, so I don't feel like if you get claustrophobic or anything like that, it's nice because it allows you to move more and you're breathing, like it'll shift with you, so you won't feel too constrained. Being claustrophobic in ways like that is not that big of a deal for me. It might be for others out there, so that's something to keep in mind as well. So with this here, that's it. Just go over the top. Again, this is one of those things where when I had come up with this, I was like, oh yeah, I could put this on without, all by myself without having to do anything. But, once I'm wearing these pieces, my arm maneuverability and range of motion is limited, and I can't do this in that way by myself. So those pieces are clipped down there, and as you can see, the chest piece covers the top of this armor, or the ab foam armor there. And then here, you got these clips on the inside. Now with it being elastic and stretches, so you can do that. Nice and easy, clips right in. Boom. Chest armor. So, see, here's this piece here. As you can see, there. And again, you see these little straps from the codpiece hanging out. You make the adjustments, tuck them in. One of the things that I've ended up doing is we'll end up like wrapping a piece of black duct tape around it to make sure it doesn't pop out. Tuck it in and just kind of tape it to itself. So you have this here. It's not cumbersome. It's not heavy. I got, some gaps through here where air will flow through. So that's where having the mesh lining of the undersuit as well as the under jacket, I guess. The mesh lining of the under jacket with the moisture wicking spandex Under Armour type undersuit. It's super, super breathable. When I was walking around on the parade route, and even just standing there waiting for the parade to step off, it was really nice. Like I could feel the breeze, and I was really, I was pleasantly surprised that I could feel the breeze. Because again, most of my previous builds and most just costumes in general have so many layers and are made of material that doesn't really breathe all that well. So this is the chest piece, the torso, the upper body. First I'll show you how easy this is to doff. So just unclip these pieces here, those straps go away, and this is how easy this is with those parachute clips. It's right up here. Put my thumbs in here and just push up, it just pops. Super easy. Just can do it with one finger or a thumb. And then just take it off over the head. And there's that. Alright, for the leg pieces, similar to how I keep together and store the arms, you have your thigh piece. This is the right thigh with the right shin. Just goes right in for storage. Let's take a look at the thigh piece first. So here, again, here's the thigh. So what I did on the inside, here's the top clip here. It's on elastic. This is what will attach to that clip, if you remember, on the H harness, on the belt. This will attach to that. And then down here at the bottom, we have some more of those parachute clips. I like them because, you know, as you saw with the chest piece, or if you remember with the chest piece, they are very easy to clip and unclip. You can do it with one hand, one finger. They are also lower profile. You can see these are pretty narrow and they hold up well. I like these also for, especially with these pivot points on joints. So this piece here will attach to this piece here. This is your shin and kneecap. So this is all going to pivot like this. It's designed to flex. And if you can see here, if you can look at the side, with it being round, and also how that connection is here. Let me see if I can show you. So here's the thigh piece. Here's the shin and knee. They attach like this. So they clip in like that. And so on top of it just being flexible from the elastic strapping, the pieces here, if you can see on this piece here, how that clip swivels back and forth like that. That's great for your pivot points on joints. So this is essentially how it attaches and how it works. The clips on those pieces there, allowing you to have flex and range of motion, both because of the round parachute clip, as well as because this is elastic webbing. This clip up here will attach to the belt part of the harness from the beginning. Again, with it being elastic webbing, it stretches, has more maneuverability, will flex and give with me or you, if you choose to make a build like this, for whatever you're using. It gives you the flexibility to move, be able to walk, take stairs, do things like that with no issues. What I also put in on these pieces here, so you can see, it's a little bit of the egg crate upholstery foam. That just gives added friction and padding to keep these pieces in place where they need to be on your legs. They're not going to be, trying to slide around too much. So that combined with the clips staying in one location will help keep everything in place while you're walking and moving. The key to all of this is to be able to wear this all and comfortably move around, walk around the convention, parade, neighborhood, whatever it is you're choosing to do. On this piece here, this is the shin and knee. Again, on the inside here, you can see I have the elastic strapping with the parachute clips on at the top. It's all black, super low profile, blends in with the leggings, so they're not really noticed while you're walking around. And again, more upholstery, egg crate type foam. Like I explained before, this is all on there to help pad it so the hard plastic is not rubbing against your shin, not rubbing against your legs, or whatever part you choose to use this for on your builds. As well as keeping it from shifting around. It provides that little bit of pressure and cushion and friction to keep it in place without having to be like, you know, snaps and Velcro and all sorts of things like that. And it all held in place throughout the entire walk for the DragonCon parade. Had no issues with anything like that. The only issues I had with the DragonCon parade with my build was how I had the magnets on the arms and a little bit with the shoes. I'll show you that in a second. But none of it was major. It still looked good. I wasn't having to stop or anything like that. Part of that goes back to everything you do is, you know, improvements and learning from past projects and past things that we've done. All of these armor pieces are rescaled models from a build that a couple years back, me and my wife, the other Clark of Clark's Cosplays, she did a Master Chief and I was Cortana. We did a gender switch. When we made that build, we didn't do much testing prior to the parade. We didn't put everything on and go for a walk or anything like that. And ideas that we had that seemed good, and when we tested it, you know, we were just kind of standing in the kitchen just putting stuff together, and it seemed great, it seemed fine. But once we started literally putting it in motion, we started having problems. Some pieces weren't sticking to the Velcro anymore, or just with, like, they would stick, but just from moving around, it would cause it to pop off. Took the lessons we learned from that build and applied them to this build, this past year's DragonCon Parade 2023. And since then, I have already made some adjustments to that in preparation for this upcoming DragonCon Parade, and I'm sure I'm going to make more changes between now and then. We still got 6 months, I want to say, at least 6 months. But of course, I'm probably not the only one who does the con crunch, where you start the year off with the best intentions. I'm going to get ahead of it all. I'm going to make sure that I'm not waiting till the last minute to do these things. And then, sure enough, you know, you're a month out and you have like 3 months worth of stuff to try and do. So you just kind of cram it all in there. So hopefully, not going to reach that point this year, but most likely will. So there's always little bits of things you want to tweak and change and things like that. But like I said, I've already made some changes from lessons learned from this previous DragonCon parade, and they've already worked out great from the ones that I've tried and tested so far. I'm going to show you guys how I put these on. First, the leg armor goes on. So, probably can't quite see this, but I have the leg armor on here. Clips on. Knee piece here. And underneath the cap. Alright. Calf piece here. Calf and knee. Saw hole down there. And now when I'm walking around, everything stays in line. Everything stays where it's supposed to be. I can walk around, you know, crouch down, no issues. Bring my knee up more. I can, you know, climb stairs. I can do anything like that. For the boots, This is the updated version of the boot that I had. The one that I had for Dragon Con 2023 and for the parade. Same version, same type as what we did for my wife's build. And it was 3D printed the boot pieces and attached them with elastic, because I don't know if you can kind of see the toe piece on this kind of cuts in. So what we did before was that would hook over the toe of the boot or the shoe. The elastic attaching to the heel would apply the pressure to keep the toe piece on, and the heel to the back of the shoe. And then this piece here was the arm piece that goes over the laces. That was also attached with elastic going around the bottom. So basically just kind of everything held on with tension, and it worked out all right. For Dragon Con Parade this year, I did that. But the toe piece on the boots would shift up more to the point where it would kind of come off the end, and just be the elastic would hold it up on top by the laces. Kind of uncomfortable and really awkward when I was walking. It probably wasn't really noticed that much by people, but I noticed it, and that made me, self-conscious about it. Since then, changes that I made: added EVA foam floor mats. This one's got the texturing to it. I chose this particular texture because it seemed a little bit more like the shoe bottom texture. And other members of the 405th costuming group, particularly Rob, name on the forums as Asgardian Hammer.
I'm Robert Letts, aka Asgardian Hammer. I'm the Division Identity Officer for the 405th Infantry Division.
Real great guy, real great dude. He's been super, super supportive for me and my wife over these past few years with doing all these Halo builds and things like that. He's the one that we've been marching in the parade with for the 405th at Dragon Con, and he said that he uses, basically he makes an EVA foam shoe to go over the shoe, or that the shoe attaches to, and it works out great, keeps everything together. It's comfortable. He doesn't have any issues with like slipping and sliding places. Over time, this does kind of wear down, but it's it's a piece of EVA foam. Once it gets worn down too much, take it off, cut out a new piece, or trace out a new piece, cut it out, glue it on, and repeat. I haven't worn it enough yet to have to re-sole the shoe, but that's been super helpful, keeping everything together. Haven't had any issues or worrying about anything. Plus, it does give you an added lift. I'm already pretty tall. I'm 6'4", but I know Spartans are more like 7 foot. So this gets me closer. Another change that I did that I learned, having all of this stuff on here makes it really difficult to try and tie these shoes. These ones here have like a zipper. This particular pair has a zipper on the side, a little piece of Velcro. I don't even bother trying to zip this up because it's not necessary. But what I did end up doing was I replaced the laces with those like elastic cinch laces. So that way it's easier to put on and take off, because I'm not trying to tie a shoe and shove laces under here. I just put them on, cinch them up tight, and tuck these laces in. And since I've made those changes, I've been super, super happy with how these shoes have been, how the boots have been. Again, nothing was terribly wrong with them before. It's just for ease of maneuverability and comfort in walking and moving around. This has just been an improvement. It made it better. If you're looking to do a build similar, great idea. Great thing to do.
Thanks for watching my video. Hope you all enjoyed it and learned something. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions. And stay tuned for some future projects I have in the works.